Honestly, right now, it's a mix between exhausted and excited. Don't know whether I want to sleep, cry, or scream. That's how I'm feeling. Also, how I found out about the auditions was a snippet on Instagram. Don't know which page it came out, but I knew that it should be around this time, from judging when, I anticipated the show to air. I was like, well, give or take, if I get lucky, I can kind of guess the right time, just kind of be prepared, clear my schedule. And when I found out, there's a lofty goal. Maybe I should go try out for this guy. I love the growth of the ex-housemates that they go on this platform and they really capitalize on the opportunity. So, maybe that would be something that, could really help my business and my brand and ultimately help my family, So I said, let's go for it. And, first things first, obviously stage 1, auditions. Now it was like the movies, like you stand out, everyone's camping out. I never anticipated it to be as, just as carnage as it was, especially going super early. I thought early bird gets early worm. I was one of the earliest contestants, and I want to say I was one of the last people to leave that day. So I didn't understand it. It was just, the swift and the strongest survived. And that's the best way I can sum up the audition phase. But after that, it still didn't feel like it was, solidified. There was a long process after that, going back and forth, I think I went in the auditions clean shaved, and I went into the Biggie's house with a full beard. That just could show you the length it took, and it was obviously worth it. But it's just surreal that it happened, and it's still happening. Even though I'm outside the house now, I know it's just beginning. Wow, we did this thing, and ultimately I didn't know what to expect, and that's me genuinely not knowing from previous shows on how, the expectations. I just was in my eyes. The first thing, I don't know if you remember, one of the first things I did when I entered the house was went to the refrigerator and the freezer. I wanted to see what I had to work with. And, food was a priority for me. If you watched enough, you would see that dictates my whole mood. So the house was, the decoration, the layout, the high ceilings, it was just like, they killed it. And that really helped settle me into knowing we're breaking boundaries with this. I didn't expect it to be, record setting in all the categories that we broke when it comes to, the biggest house in Big Brother's house history and all this stuff. It was like, wow, that blew my mind when we done those stacks came in. And, the records that we set, it's just like, it couldn't have been any better. And this season and this set of housemates, I'm so thankful to be a part of it. My first initial take, that's a great question. Because I know for me, when I got in there, it was a full, like a university vibe. And that's what I got instantly. It was like, everyone was very corporate. They sense, it was business minded. I think Jeff had on a tie, when we first got in, and it was just like, this is. I didn't realize how entertaining it was until that highlight that weekend, and I was like, man, we're really is the Pepper Gang, That's when it set in. I was like, maybe we're not done enough this week, It didn't seem like there was much going on because it was just gradually, just like bit by bit, everyone was like the layers were coming to surface, and I think personality-wise, I really enjoyed that they pinpoint everyone individually to have their very own unique flair and bring it into the house in the way that they did. I would never understand, but I just really, really respect how they did it, because everyone had someone that they could really like their synergies connected with, and that helped when it came to being able to disconnect in the house, if that made any sense, if you needed to, for conversations where if for some reason you were deprived, maybe a diary session, you wouldn't feel suffocated. There was always someone you could speak to, or someone that you could let off steam to in a way where it could help pass time and just make you feel somewhat a little bit upbeat. So that was cool. Yes, I could have handled a lot of situations in the house better. I don't feel like I was a complete model when it came to some of the bickering that went on during the house, but in the midst of a lot of the chaos, that's when you have a tendency to react in ways that you'd be like, outside you're like, maybe I wouldn't have said that, maybe I wouldn't have pointed to that situation. But in the house, things happen very quickly, and at times it senses it's like your instinct will make the call for you, and you just hope that that is the best call. If you could from the you could see from some of the examples, it cost people their opportunity to end the show how they wanted to. Okay. It's just how things are, how they turned out. Yeah, you couldn't have scripted this. No, it was more of a no filter scenario when it came to that particular incident. It was more of a case where, again, I've said on numerous occasions, within the house, a lot of everyone in the house, to me, genuinely I had a connection with in their own unique way. And it gets to a stage when you get very comfortable and you react in ways where you would be with your siblings, and it's just kind of to me looking out in my best interest or their best interest. You don't want to allow things to maybe play out in ways where it could have been avoided. And to me, that was kind of like a, quick check, where, it really went the wrong. It really went to a different realm. And again, I can't have scripted these things, but, it is what it is at this stage. But that was anything that I was anticipating or building towards or trying to, make into any malicious way. It was just kind of me generally being like hey sis, check this out, it's not something that, it's not fixable. Well, again, the best way I can, answer that one is, there was clear rules and, guidelines we had to follow. And Biggie was very clear with, his guidelines. So, he can always change the rules at any moment. We were very clear and we were aware of that. And we've seen things like in the house that he was very, precise when it came to that. So when the situation happened, one thing he always said is never predict a game. And when it happened, it's like, well, there's another confirmation. So again, I don't go in there, anticipating and expecting anything. To me, to walk out on day 99 as a runner-up, I'm just thankful, because anything is possible. So yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I tried to just have fun and make the most of the opportunity. And and along the way, I managed to do that and more. I had more fun than I anticipated because I was sensing that my approach was almost like wasn't something that was taken serious. It was like you got your notes wrong, buddy. Yeah, this is not what you think this is. So then I started getting to kind of like embracing myself for something that never came, and I can say that confidently because I was there from day 1 to day 99, and I never once felt like there was any times where I shouldn't have had fun. No, there's nothing that this was not a dating show. It wasn't a show where we was going to find love or go on dates with each other. So I never once felt like that was a disadvantage. I was in there to be me, and that's it. Honestly, all I feel outside of being on the stage that the day of the final call of final verdict of the winner and the runner-up, I've only just felt love. I've only just, anything else. I've not, honestly, this is generally, I don't see, I'm so focused on, the gratitude I have for those who wanted to see me excel and do well in the house and remain in the house, that's all that is my focal is just love. Everywhere I see is love, I've met some of my supporters, who have reached out and they've told me, heartwarming things and, made me feel even more connected to the fact where, being in there, I felt like I made just somewhat of an impact or, inspired someone in some way. And if it was just one person, I feel like my job is done justice in the house. So yeah, that's only I'm just overwhelmed by all the support. And again, I said in the beginning, I don't know whether to to laugh, cry, or scream. It's just one of those emotions that you can't put in one. So you just appreciate it. Gratitude is the best medicine right now. I'm just trying to absorb it all and operate enough 2 hours sleep. only thing I was certain of is that I had a 50-50 chance of winning. And I only felt 50% chance of winning. And that was it. You know, I couldn't, you know, it was out of my control. There's nothing that I could have done on that day to gave me any more of an edge over Mercy, and there's nothing that she could have done on that day to give me any more of an edge. So it was just about enjoying the moment and when the moment that it was, what was it? It was leaving the house for the first time in 99 days. It was walking on stage, it was hearing the crowd, it was seeing the faces, hearing your name chant, you know, seeing your loved ones in the crowd. It was that moment. Breathtaking. Yo guys, this is Mike, AKA Cruise-topian President, and you are tuned in to Vibe.ng.